Welcome to Yoga with Weights. We'll be using some small hand weights for this flow today. So if you have some small 3 to 5 pound hand weights, you can get those out. Otherwise, if you don't have those, you could try using water bottles or cans or bottles, just being cautious. So let's come on down into devotional. Start taking some nice slow deep breaths, settling in. And starting to lengthen the breath, really sending your breath down into the bottom of your belly. Letting go of any thoughts. Working today with the idea of fear. And instead of thinking of fear as forget everything and run, I'm suggesting we think of it instead as face everything and rise. Taking one more nice deep breath. And we'll lift up to a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll just flow through a couple rounds of cat-cow or barrel rolls. And starting to connect breath with movement. Your sides feel even, we'll come back to neutral spine, and taking a weight in your right hand, we'll inhale the right arm out, level with your shoulder, and extend that left leg out behind you, flexing the toes. Gaze is down at your fingertips, keeping a nice long spine, nice long neck. One more breath, extending out. And as you exhale, hand and knee can come back down. We'll inhale the opposite side. So left arm extends out with that weight if you'd like. You can extend the right leg out behind you, level with your hip. A few deep breaths as you really extend out. And then hand and knee can come back down on an exhale. You might flow through another round of cat-cow. And then you'll curl your toes under here. We'll lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. You can find some gentle movements, pedaling it out, shaking your head, yes and no. One more breath. The bottom of your exhale, looking forward, gently walking forward to the top of your space into forward fold. And you can reach for your weights. We're going to inhale up to a half table flat back. Hands can come to your hips. Good, one more deep inhale, lengthening out. On the exhale, we'll release forward again, forward fold, arms can release down. Softening your knees, we'll slowly curl up. One vertebra at a time, maybe shrugging your shoulders up and down the back. And then coming to feet about hip width apart on your mat. We're going to come to chair pose. Hands can come to the hips for this first variation. So sinking down, weight into your heels. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift up. Arms can come up overhead, lifting up to the balls of your feet, and then we'll release back down to chair, airplane arms, squeezing your shoulder blades. We're gonna do a few of those, moving with the breath. Inhaling to lift, exhaling down to chair, airplane arms, squeezing the shoulder blades. And one more round. We'll hold chair, airplane arms for one full breath. Good, then arms can come by your sides, legs can extend up. On an inhale, we're gonna lengthen arms up overhead. On the exhale, we'll come forward to half table. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling half table. Inhaling up. Exhaling half table. Last time, inhaling up. Exhaling half table. Holding half table just for 1.5 breaths. As you exhale, releasing forward into forward fold. We'll take a couple breaths. You could pedal it out, bending one knee at a time, maybe shaking your head yes and no. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift to half table from forward fold. So inhaling to lift, exhaling all the way forward again. We'll do a few of those. Inhaling half table. Exhaling forward. Core is nice and strong, belly's engaged, pulled in. And just one more. Inhaling to half table. Exhaling forward. We'll soften the knees and slowly lift up one vertebra at a time. And shrugging your shoulders up and down your back. Good. And then hands can come to your hips. We're gonna step the right leg back to warrior one. So making your way to warrior one. Hips are squared to the front. Good. From here, we're gonna inhale, arms overhead. On the exhale, we'll come forward to airplane warrior. So spine stays nice and long. We're gonna do some arm lifts. So as you exhale, pressing back with the weights. And one more. Good, hands can come back to your hips. We'll lift back up to warrior one. And we're gonna come to goddess here in the center. So weight comes into the heels, or into the balls of your feet rather, and you could lift one or both heels. You're gonna do a couple presses overhead. So bringing your arms to about 45 or 90 degrees. On an inhale, we're gonna press up to 5-pointed star. Exhaling to lower back down. Inhaling up. Good, one more. And then hands can come back to your hips, legs can extend. We'll come back to feet about hip width apart. And this time you'll step that left leg back to warrior one. Setting yourself up, front knee is over your heel. And on an inhale, arms can extend up. We'll exhale, forward airplane warrior, really pressing both feet. And then taking some arm extensions here, bending the elbows and then extending back. Being mindful of your neck and spine, moving with the breath. One more. And lifting up, hands can come back to your hips. We're going to come back to goddess. And a little different here on this round. We'll bring arms out in front. And then inhaling or exhaling to lift weights in toward your collarbones or neck. If you'd like, you can add in some leg lifts or heel lifts. So on the exhale, one more. Good. Arms can rest down by your sides. Legs can extend. We'll heel toe the feet back together here. Taking a nice deep breath in the center. Then we're going to step the feet out about a leg's distance apart. We'll come to anatomical here in the center. On an inhale, arms reach up. We're going to exhale to warrior two toward the side of your mat. So pivoting on that right foot. Good. Just breathing here, maybe peeking back, making sure that left arm's pointing straight out. Bring some dynamic movements here with the arms. So on your inhale, lowering the arms down, we'll exhale to lift arms to T. One more. Good. We'll turn back to anatomical. Inhaling both arms overhead. Exhaling to the opposite side. So pivoting on that left foot, warrior two. On an inhale, arms can drop down, weights come together. We'll exhale to lift arms back to a T. Gaze is out over those left fingers. One more. Good. We'll come back to anatomical or feet to parallel. Arms can take a little break for a moment here, releasing them down by your sides. We're going to come back to warrior two, but try a different dynamic movement. So when you're ready, on an inhale, both arms overhead. We'll exhale to warrior two to your right. This time flipping the palms upward. On an inhale, we're going to extend everything, including that front leg, overhead, extending up. And then palms face down as you exhale, arms back to a T. So you'll flip the palms up on the inhale to lift. As you exhale, palms face down, lowering to warrior two. Just a couple more of those. Good. Arms can release down. We'll turn to face the center again. Feet to parallel. On an inhale, arms overhead. And exhaling to warrior two, other side, left foot forward. So again, flipping palms up As you inhale, lengthening up. Exhaling, palms face down, arms to T. Moving with your breath, nice and strong. One more. Beautiful. Arms can rest down by your sides. Heel toeing the feet back together. We'll inhale, lengthening up. Exhaling, arms out wide, releasing forward. Swan dive into a forward fold. You can release the weights just for a couple of moments here. You might reach for opposite elbows. You can sway side to side, forward and back. One more deep breath. Grabbing hold of the weights again. We're going to inhale to half table. Exhaling forward. And softening your knees, we'll slowly curl up one vertebra at a time. And shrug your shoulders up and down your back. We're going to come back to anatomical, so feet and legs about a leg's distance apart. We'll inhale, arms overhead, and on the exhale, turning to your right, so pivoting on that right foot, arms can come down by your sides. We're going to try a dynamic variation of triangle. So that right arm stays down on the inside of the right leg. Inhaling the left arm up, bicep by your ear. Core is nice and strong here. We're going to exhale to lower to triangle. Inhaling to lift up. That left arm stays bicep by your ear. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. One more here. This time we'll inhale to reverse triangle. And then arms can relax down by your sides. Feet come back to parallel. Taking a deep breath here in the center, maybe shrugging your shoulders up and down your back. And then we'll inhale, both arms overhead. Exhaling to pivot to the opposite side, so pivoting on that left foot. Arms can release down by your sides. On an inhale, right arm comes up, bicep by your ear. On the exhale, lowering down. Stacking your shoulders, engaging the core to lift on your inhale. Last time. Inhaling to reverse triangle. Arms can come back by your sides, turning to face the side. Again, feet come to parallel. We're going to heel toe the feet back together. And coming to mountain, feet about hip width apart. On an inhale, inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg to Ekapada. Arms are gonna come up overhead. So inhaling, right leg. We're gonna exhale through to Warrior Three, airplane arms. We're gonna do a few of these with your breath. Inhaling to lift the right leg. Exhaling, Warrior Three. And when you've had enough on that side, you can release that right foot back. We're going to come forward into pyramid. So arms can release down. You can release the weights for a moment here. Sending your breath along the back of that front leg, really pressing both feet. One more deep breath. Grabbing your weights again, core is nice and strong. We'll inhale to lift up and step that back foot forward to mountain, maybe shaking it out or wiggling it out, whatever you need to do. Feet come back to about hip width apart. On an inhale, we're going to lift the left leg to Ekapada. So inhaling, arms up, left leg. Exhaling forward, Warrior Three, airplane arms, squeezing your shoulder blades. And inhaling back through, Ekapada. One more. Carefully release the left foot back down to the mat. Foot's flat to the mat. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling forward into pyramid. You can release the weights for a moment. Maybe bringing your fingertips to your heel or ankles. Maybe to your mat or the floor. One more breath here. Grabbing your weights again, really pressing that front foot. We'll inhale to press back up. You can step that back foot forward, finding any movements, pedaling it out or shaking out your feet, wiggling it out. And then feet come to about hip width apart. We're going to come to tree pose when you're ready. So weight comes into that left leg. Inhaling the right foot up. And you can use the toes as a kickstand, or you might try walking that foot up your leg a little bit, but avoiding the knee joint. We're going to bring arms out front. We'll do some arm raises here in tree pose. So standing nice and tall, exhaling to press the weights up, bending your elbows. Inhaling to open the arms, exhaling to lift. If you'd like, you can try extending arms overhead, maybe cactus arms. Growing some branches. Just one or two more breaths here. And releasing hands through heart center. They can come down by your sides. That foot can release down. You can shake it out, wiggle it out. And then bringing feet back to about hip width. Weight comes into the right leg, gently lifting that left foot. Using the toes as a kickstand or walking the foot up the right leg. Again, just avoiding that right knee. We'll bring the weights out front. Inhaling to open up. Exhaling as you lift up, bending the elbows. Pulling that left knee back toward the wall behind you, imagining standing up nice and tall, relaxing that right leg. One more lift here, and then if you'd like, you can grow branches, cactus arms, maybe extending both arms overhead. Two more deep breaths. Hands can come through heart center. Arms can relax down. That left leg can come down. You can find any movements here to wiggle it out. And set the weights down. We're going to have a seat down onto the mat. And we'll try a couple rounds of Robin's breath with the weights. So bringing hands to heart center here. We'll inhale, sitting up nice and tall. On the exhale, pressing both palms out in front, rounding your spine. We'll inhale, arms open like wings. Exhaling to round the spine. Inhaling to pull weights to your heart. So exhaling to press forward, rounding. Inhaling, arms out wide. Exhaling. And inhaling. One more round. Good. Weights can rest by your side. You can bend your knees, making sure you have enough room to lower down behind you. And we'll come all the way down to the floor, to your mat. I'm going to come sideways so you can see me. So reaching for your weights. We're going to try a dynamic variation of bridge. So walking your feet in so your heels are just out of reach of your glutes. We're going to bring elbows bend to 90 degrees with the weights. On an inhale, you'll lift the hips up, pressing into the elbows. We'll try it a little bit different here. You can bring the weights down by your feet. On an inhale, you'll extend your arms up overhead as you lift your hips. Exhaling to release hips back down, arms by your side. So we'll do a few. Arms are turned sideways so that your knuckles are facing each other. Palms are facing in. If this is too much on your neck or shoulders, you can always just come into a traditional bridge. And relaxing down, you can release your weights. We're going to bring both knees into the chest here to counter stretch the low back. You can rock side to side, maybe rotating your feet and ankles. We'll come to a shoulder stand here to stretch the upper back. So rocking up onto your upper back. Core is engaged, nice and strong. Pulling your legs upward. And if you'd like to release, Legs overhead for plow pose. You can do that. Nice breaths. And whenever you're ready to come out, you'll lift back up nice and strong in the core and gently releasing down one vertebra at a time back to your mat. We'll extend out for a full body stretch. One more inhale. Exhaling, knees to your chest. You can rock side to side. And then feet come down to your mat, walking your feet out to the edges. We'll do some windshield wipers, releasing the knees side to side. And when your sides feel even, knees can come back into your chest. We'll find happy baby here in the center. Really pressing your whole spine into your mat, maybe rocking side to side. And finding any last movements that might be drawing you. Making your way when you're ready to final Shavasana. Nice comfortable position on your mat, whatever that is for you. Arms can rest wherever it's comfortable. Natural breath. Letting go. Some food for thought as you're resting in your Shavasana. And one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. Gently bringing your attention back, wiggling your fingers and toes, stretching your arms and legs. Making your way onto either side. Taking just a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat. Pressing up to a seated position when you're ready. Light and teacher in me honors the light and teacher in you. Namaste.